I'm Shakora.
And I'm Ebony.
And welcome to the Unapologetically Us podcast, where we talk about life, mental health, fitness, finances, and everything in between. Thank y'all so much for joining us. We're back. Oh. Thank y'all so much for joining us, for tuning in, for watching, for sharing, for commenting, for the questions. Thank y'all.
Okay, song.
Oh, I don't know that song.
No, I'm just saying. No, like you was singing. You used your singing voice.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I know I didn't sing your voice.
Oh my God. Hold on, before we get into child, listen. You know, if you notice on the videos, you've been cutting up lately.
I'm sorry.
You've been, and that's why I'm like, you know what? Zoom in right here. Let me get her doing this, cause you don't know my life. You don't know my life. I said,
I did that. She be trying to catch everything up in them videos.
Why not? That's what they there for.
Girl. Anywho, into child listen. Child, listen. Now, what's been up though?
So I worked out with this person over here, and came here to get ready for the episode, and my hand was shaking trying to do my eyebrows, and I was like, you know what, these brows is gonna be whatever they're gonna be for this record session, because for some reason working out with Shakora, she just be like not knowing my life.
I do know her life.
Like, she don't understand my life, and she just be trying to make me do stuff. And I'd be like, girl, I know my strength. She might post a video by the time this episode come out.
Yes, I will.
But I'd be like, girl, you don't know my life.
But yet I do.
And so, yeah, my arms are hurting this episode. And I'm tired.
But that's okay, though. That is okay.
And she want to come stand and watch me do my set. And I'm like, girl, go finish yours. Like, you still got your set to do too. Nah, I'm actually, no, go do yours.
What you said? Go ahead about your business.
Go ahead, go do yours. Like, I'm good. I was at like 9 anyway.
I was done though when I came over there.
No, you had stopped.
Oh, no, I had did 10, but I was gonna do 12, but I did 10.
So I mean, you know, it be fun, you know what? But like I told Shakora, I say what you can't say is Ebony ain't gonna push herself.
Yeah, she gonna push herself for sure.
I'm gonna push myself.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when I tried to do them deadlifts. I did 3. I was going for 4. And I went down on that 4th, and it just went down.
Just couldn't make it back up.
I may post it to that. Oh no.
That is so funny. But after that, you went back to it.
I did. I took some weight off, and then I went back to go do it.
Yes, that's
so other than that, yeah, you know. So, child, what's been up with you?
Girl, I've been busy again. Mm-hmm. Once again, busy. But I can honestly say this week I've been enjoying the gym. Of course, you know I love the gym anyway, but really just enjoying
Talk about your mics.
I know, see, that's what I was gonna say. But yes, so I already like working out. I already enjoy the gym. Me and my husband, we go to the gym. Sometimes we go separately, but we both really enjoy the gym. So I came up with a brilliant idea, you know, from all the TikToks that I watch, to order some gym mics, right? Why these people don't give me gym mics? So TikTok calls it being mic'd up, right? And I thought I was gonna be bad, but my husband, he real bad. Like, yeah, my husband,
real bad.
He real bad. Like, it used to just be him and how he act, but the mic make him rare form, just cut up, completely cut up. So it's fun watching him cut up with the mic, and it's just fun, like, actually talking through your workout. A lot of people go to the gym and they're uncomfortable. I can't really say nothing. Oh, this person may be watching me and things like that. And yeah, they are watching, but they're not watching like, oh, she doing that wrong, or oh, he not doing that right. They're watching because they're, one, trying to be motivated, or they, two, trying to figure out, oh, I never saw nobody do that before, and things like that. I want to say me and Des was working out. Actually, 2 stories. We were working out, and we're deadlifting. That video will be coming soon. So we're deadlifting, and we're trying to hit a new PR, and I'm fighting to get this up, and it just wouldn't come up. So I'm yelling, I'm doing all of that, and then the old man walk in. They like, y'all okay over there? That's like, oh, we just having a deadlift party. And so I was like, Lord, he was like, y'all about to give this old man a heart attack. And we was like, oh, my bad. But that's the man that be keeping me in the gym for about 3 hours every day. So in the mornings. And then, so the other one was, it was a guy, he was lifting really, really heavy, doing squats. Like I'm talking about he just lifting, okay? And so we're doing chest, and Dad's got me doing drop set. Just wait till I introduce you to that. So he had me doing what we call drop sets and then pyramids. So we had 5 plates that we went from 5, 4, 3, 2, then back up. Whew. But it was good though. It was good. It really was. So we're gonna try that the next time we're in the gym together. Yeah, it was good. So child, listen, we're gonna post that video too when she get in there. She can do it with us. But anywho, I've really been enjoying the gym this week and my mics. Yes.
Well, good.
Yes.
Amen to the mics. Amen
yes.
to the gym.
Amazon $25.
Amen to her loving the gym. Ain't no pyramids though for me.
Yes, it will.
No, it's not. So we're gonna ignore what she's saying at this point and go to today's topic. Well, we talking about picking your battles in a relationship.
Picking your battles.
You know, everybody be saying stuff like, girl, everything don't deserve an argument. Everything ain't worth an argument. Everything ain't worth a conversation. You know, some stuff you just gotta just take it for what it is.
Let it brush it off your shoulder.
Let it go on. You know, go do what it do, basically. So, one of the things that you can pick a battle, or when I think about certain things as not worth an argument, I know what works for me is taking a step back and thinking like, okay, am I really mad at this, or am I mad at something else? Mm-hmm. Is it something that I kind of been just letting go? Mm-hmm. That it's like it's like when you don't touch one thing, mm-hmm. and then everything just compounds to something else.
Yes. Or
you didn't address this issue, so any and every little thing pisses you off.
Yep.
So I kind of step back and be like, okay, am I mad at this? Or do I need to just go ahead and address what's really making me mad?
Absolutely.
Because we quick to just go to, I am so tired. Mm-hmm. Why you don't put the food in the microwave? I mean, in the refrigerator at night when it's time. Or my dad's pet peeve. Oh my God. Dishes left in the sink overnight. And not the sink, the rack.
Babe, I'm gonna leave some dishes on the rack.
He say, you wash the dishes, you can put them on the rack, let them dry. But before you go to bed, you put them up. That is
rightfully so.
So you arguing over dishes being left in the rack overnight when you mad about something else. Mm-hmm.
True. And that's typically what happens, which is hard for people to do, because if we're talking about picking your battles in relationships, it's hard to pick that battle, mm-hmm. because sometimes when you do, just like you said, let something ride, then when something else happens, now I'm 10 times mad, mm-hmm. because I should have said something then, but I didn't, trying to pick my battle, mm-hmm. which I still agree with. I think not everything is worth the argument or a fight. Maybe a discussion, but not a fight. Because what I do believe in, if it bothers you, if it's going to bother you tomorrow and the next day and the next day, then go ahead and address it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be okay with, and you're not going to think about it tomorrow, it's not going to be anything of an issue. If you sweep it under the rug's still going to be flat, nobody
Mm-hmm.
tripping over it, then we're good. But if you going to still be in your feelings, you're going to be sad, you're going to be smirking your face up, go ahead and talk about it. Because if you don't, and it doesn't have to be an argument, but go ahead and talk about it. And it may, if you feel, strongly about whatever it may be a difficult conversation, but still have it for sure. So yeah, I feel like there's several different, things that, or ways we can choose and pick our battles, right? So for you, what do you think is some healthy ways or things that people can do when argument arises and I don't know how to address it?
Sit back and the article says make a plan, but when you take that time to step back and assess what are you mad about, once you come to the conclusion of what you're mad about, then make sure that when you go talk that you have your talking points. If I'm mad at a situation that I felt could have been handled differently, I'm going to use the situation. I'm going to convey how it made me feel. And I may even preface it by saying, this may not be what you meant, but this is how I take it.
Absolutely.
A conversation I've had with him was inside joke. Inside joke. But a conversation that I had was, I said, this may be not what you mean, but this is how I take it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it opens it up, because I'm not saying that you're wrong in what you did, because people handle things in situations differently. But what I am saying is how you handled it and how I received it are two different things.
Absolutely.
So this may be your way of doing it, and I'm not saying even change your way of doing it, but I'm letting you know, hey, this is how I feel, and it's up to me and you to sit here and decide, agree to disagree on how to move forward. Because it could be okay, I'm going to try to not do this again. I'm going to try not to handle it this way. Or a compromise in the middle of saying, okay, just communicate when you feel like this, so that way when this happens again, I don't take it that way. I'm going to go to, okay, cool, this is what's going on, not this.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing that I've been trying to practice, is understanding, and even just getting people around me to know, even working with my clients, I try to get them to know that it's not always about what you say, it's how you say it. And you may not have meant for it to be hurtful, harmful, or for the person that you're talking to, for it to make them feel a way, but it did. And so not apologizing or not addressing what it was that you said, but how that person felt. Like, oh, I was trying to tell you to get the dishes off the dish rack before it was bedtime or before we went to bed. I didn't mean for you to feel sad, hurt, embarrassed, whatever you may be feeling. So I apologize for the way that I made you feel. And we don't always do that. We think that, oh, I think it's okay, I said what I needed to say, and that's all that matters. And sometimes we have to understand that, yeah, but what you said may have been something that needed to be said, but it still hurt my feelings. So we need to address that. And that too comes into communication, but being able to understand this don't have to be an argument, but listen to what I'm saying. My feelings is hurt. What we're gonna do about that part? I get it. I'm gonna put your dishes up, but what about how my feelings felt? or what my, you know, how I felt about it. So it's important. It's important to pick the battles, but when your feelings are involved, to go ahead and address those.
True. And which brings me to the next point with addressing issues, and why I feel that one, the step back and the step back and assess the problem is good, because now you've given yourself time to calm down. Mm-hmm. And so that takes it to the point of tone, because it takes it to because your tone matters whether we like it or not.
Yes.
Because it can be interpreted in so many different ways. So once you calm down and you approach a situation in a calm tone, then that person's defenses should not be up.
Yeah.
Because if you come in aggressive, most people's reaction is to come back aggressive. So when you approach a situation calmly, then it's like, hey, I'm coming to you to talk to you about this. This is how I feel. Now, what the yelling aspect, that what we talked about before we started the episode, we can't control the emotional part behind it. Mm-hmm. Because when you're passionate about something, your voice will elevate.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't mean that you're fussing at the person, but your emotions will allow your voice to elevate. Mm-hmm. So I'm not yelling at you. My tone just got a little higher because my emotions are involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm approaching a situation calmly, but as I'm expressing this, my tone may get a little, my voice may get a little higher, but I'm still somewhat calmer than what I could be if I approached it right then and there, because you're going to get words that you don't mean to say. Because, again, I'm up here at a 10, you up here at a 10, we both got our defenses on. Mm-hmm. And then you know you enough to know you. I know me enough to know that my part of my defenses is especially in a relationship, I can't beat him up.
Right.
I'm going to try, but I know I can't beat him up.
Absolutely.
So what I'm going, because genetically men are stronger than women.
Right, yeah.
So, because I can't beat you up, I'm going to cut you where it hurt. Mm-hmm. I'm going to cut you with my words. Mm-hmm. So my mind, which is not good, which is why I say take a step back. Mm-hmm. Because if I'm in this heated space and my defenses are up, this time I'm coming at you. Mm-hmm. So, stepping back to assess, one, is this even worth me talking about? Mm-hmm. Two, am I mad at this or am I mad at something else? Mm-hmm. But three, it also gives me that time to calm down and approach it with a better tone.
Yes, absolutely. That's definitely true. Lord, that would have been true. So that's definitely true. Tone is definitely in my ballpark. Tone is what I have been trying to work on. I'm gonna just go ahead and say genetically, I'm naturally a loud person. And so being that I'm naturally loud, my voice is naturally loud, especially when I'm passionate about something, when I'm hurt or I'm trying to get someone to understand where I'm coming from, that tone. And so I work on, especially now as a wife, so much trying to control my tone, because who wants a disrespectful wife? Who wants a wife who cannot respect their boundaries, not only their boundaries, but respect them by talking to them in a proper way? And so, because I could be quick. I'll be quick and be like, don't talk to me like that. But then on the next hand, I'm over there yelling and giving you the same thing I just told you don't give to me. So tone for me, I try to edit. I tell them too. Literally just tell them, I'm like, I'm trying to do better with telling you this and this and that and that, but you making me. And he like, no, control your emotions, but so tone is definitely hard. Tone is definitely hard, but it's definitely something worth working on. And so being, you know, I can blame it on genetics and how I was raised and me naturally being loud and all of that, but it's still no excuse, you know. So I have to work on that every day. Like even when I'm just talking with my friends and I feel passionate and my voice get loud, I'm like, oh, I'm loud, and then I try to come down. Because when you practice those things daily, even, you know, when I'm in a counseling session or I'm in therapy, you know, they're telling me, they're like, you know, like what you say, and I tell them, hey, I'm practicing grace. You know, I talked about that before, practicing grace, being more graceful, and that includes lowering that tone, slowing it down, you know, just doing little things like that to just be better, be a better version of yourself. So definitely, so being able to correct that tone is important.
I agree. I agree with it. So just thinking as you was talking about, because we were talking about picking battles. And some people, you know, we're talking about like, okay, you know, the things that you can do or whatever. When I first heard pick your battles, it was told to me like everything doesn't deserve an argument or a discussion. So I wanted to point out the fact that I think it's a personal preference of what you choose to discuss and what you choose not to discuss. Even with the giving grace part, and I use the example of my dad's pet peeve of not putting the dishes up before you go to bed. I listened to a podcast where it's a husband and a wife. The husband is a clean, organized, color code type of person, where the wife is, she ain't just dirty, but she ain't clean like him. And so it was one of them things of like, this is just who she is. Y'all been together this time, this long. This is obviously something that she's not going to be able to change or correct. So it's kind of like if he was to come home and she got clothes, you know, on the couch, it's not for me to come home and fuss at this point. Because at this point, I'm choosing to accept who you are as a person. So using my dad, if he comes home and, you know, his woman didn't put the dishes up after being told numerous times, either you put them up yourself or just accept the fact that she just not gonna do it. And so when I'm saying picking your battles, it's a personal thing, because what I may feel may not work, you know, may not grant an argument. Shakur may feel like, oh yes, it does. This is a discussion. And what she may feel like doesn't need to be talked about, I may feel like, oh yes, it does. And I'm talking about this. So, and then too, because we're humans and we grow, what mattered to me now may not matter to me 5 years from now. So, if it's something that I really don't care about, like being able to express my emotions wasn't the thing that I really cared about. But because after going through therapy and I see the importance of it, oh, I need to be able to express my emotions or express how I feel. So if I'm not saying let's argue, but if something made me feel a way, hey, let me come and tell you, this is how I felt. Not saying that it was wrong. I mean, not saying that what you did was wrong. My reception of it was this. This is how I felt. So I just wanted to point out that knowing when not to do something is just a personal preference.
Absolutely, I agree. Which is another thing that's tough for me. And I guess it's tough because it's like, you know, you, again, becoming a better version of yourself, you have to understand that people aren't going to always be as receptive of the things that you would want them to do or how you want them to do it, and vice versa. You know, it's easy to say that what someone should do and then you not doing it yourself. So I definitely understand that. Another one, you know, for me would be is, don't react immediately. And that's one thing that I've learned to do myself is I need my time. Like, I need, not even just for what you have given to me, but in the sense of me giving you something, giving it back to you as well. Because, like I just said, my tone is always a little higher and things like that. So I need to take my moment. I need to take my 5. I need to walk away and say, okay, wait a minute. And I said this before, I need to take my moment to say, okay, let me step back, because if I don't step back, the way that I'm going to give this is not going to be in a good manner. It's not going to be how I actually want you to accept it or take it. Because oftentimes we think, oh, this is a good way. This sounds good. Logically, it sounds good for us, but how we deliver it, it go totally out one ear and off into space because of how you delivered it. Mm-hmm. So taking that time, taking that 5 minutes, taking that walk, but also communicating that, saying, hey, wait a second, I need my 5 real quick, because this ain't gonna come out good.
Right.
I'm trying, I don't want to yell. I want you to really be able to understand what I'm telling you. So give me my 5. This is important though. I want to talk about this, but give me my 5.
Right.
And then I can gather myself, I can get myself together, I can figure out how I want to tell you, how we can talk about it, or whatever the case. I was listening to or watching a podcast, and it was, again, husband and wife, and they were saying how they deal with arguments. Mm-hmm. And basically saying, like, if we have something that we just can't agree, or it's something that we know is gonna kind of raise the tone, raise them up, we'll lay flat on our stomachs, facing each other, like who you are. Like, try laying down on your stomach and yelling at somebody, not working. So that's how we talk about, oh, this gonna be a tough conversation. Hit the flow. Like, we need to hit the flow, because now you on the flow to you gonna fucking listen to me. We on the flow. Like, it's hard. So being able to know that there's gonna be a tough conversation, and then saying, we need to get down, because this gonna be tough. But that couple knew what it was that they needed. That was their time to make sure that the tones didn't go up, to make sure that there were ways for you to understand what I'm saying to you without making you understand what I'm saying. You need to. And that stuff is just ineffective. And we do it. We do it all the time. I do it all the time. But being able to, when you know better, you do better. Or at least you could try.
And I know you hate this term, because you said it when we was prepping. Agree to disagree. Because we're not gonna always see eye to eye on everything. We're not gonna always agree on everything. Core things, I feel like, yes, there should be a compromise. But if you say that rose gold is rose gold, and I say, no, if I say rose gold is different than pink, and you say no, it's not, let's just agree to disagree. Now, I'm not saying, you arguing over something that's simple to say, but it's like, if it's not something that matters to you, just agree to disagree and go on about your day.
Facts. Yes, I do hate that phrase. Hate it, do. Because no, if you have something or you agree, and not saying that everybody has to agree with what I'm saying, or I have to agree with everything someone else is saying. But if it's something that we're discussing related to our family, or we're discussing related to important decisions and things like that, like I don't think that we have to say, well, I don't think that you should buy this car, but I think we should. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. We just gotta agree to disagree. No, let's not.
Well, no, I would, as far as a household, you gotta put your accounting hat on. In a household with combined finances, you do have to consider the other person there. That's like, if you say, I want to quit my job and pursue my practice full term, that's a discussion that you have to have with your husband, mm-hmm. To make sure that your house can still stay afloat, because you're lacking in income. So what, either he has to step up, or I'm just, either he has to step up, or you, like, what does, this pool of money from our household every month, how are we going to make sure that that's taken care of?
Yeah.
Because you are stepping back from your full-time job. Insurances, you know, if I'm carrying everybody on my medical insurance, how are we going to go as far as by doing insurance? So yeah, I'm not saying agree to disagree on that. If it don't matter, if we arguing over the best NBA team, let's just agree to disagree.
Facts. Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that part. You know, careless things, you know, like what our or who our NBA team is, yes. But not only if we purchasing a car.
Right.
We're not
because
gonna do that.
Finances is a core thing in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
How you raise kids is a core thing in a relationship. The religion that you practice is a core thing in a relationship. It was one of another one I had in my head. Not just religion, politics.
Yeah,
is a core thing of what you have in your relationship, or some people can consider politics very, very core. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to those core things, then no, we cannot agree to disagree. We can compromise, but we're not agreeing to disagree. Mm-hmm. All the other stuff that you don't consider, because again, what you consider core is subjective. What you don't consider a core, or y'all have deemed is not a core thing in this relationship, let's just agree to disagree. Mm-hmm. And go on about it.
Yeah. Okay. I can agree with that part.
No. I would never say spanking my child, not spanking my child, let's just agree to disagree. No, we both have to be on one accord as how it comes to discipline our children. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's hard, you know, trying to decide on what battles to, you know, to actually battle in a relationship. That is definitely, you know, tough, especially being newly married, you know, boyfriend, baby, every battle, I'm going to war. But, you know, now as a wife and someone who's practicing grace, right? Mm-hmm. Having to pick that battle. Mm-hmm. And it's hard. Another one I wanted to discuss is communicating or talking or communicating that battle, right? Mm-hmm. In person.
Oh yeah.
Because
text, I prefer not to have certain conversations over text messages, because you're never gonna know the person's tone.
Yep, absolutely.
So if it's a thing where I feel like if we're texting and I feel like this is leading to something, hey, let me hear your tone real quick. So I'm trying to make sure you ain't arguing or you ain't fussing.
Yeah.
Or you ain't in your feelings, or you ain't feeling no way. Because in person, because you can read body language, you can see their tone, or even if it's over the phone, you can hear the tone, everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like important stuff, that if you can, body language, because in person, so you can see body language.
Right, absolutely. Body language is important. Text messages, because I know I could get a text message confused. I'll call you, who you talking to? Or what you mean? You know, even with talking to your friends, you know, your friend can send you a text message. And I know we probably done this several times. Friends send you a text message and you be like, oh, now she mad at me. Now I'm not texting her, not calling her, and things like that. Then we talk to each other 3 weeks later, talking about, girl, I ain't heard from you. Girl, when you sent me that text message, I thought you was mad. No, I wasn't. Why didn't you call me? You know, just different things like that. So definitely, when choosing to discuss a battle, definitely in person. Mm-hmm. Definitely. And I know it's easier to discuss a battle through text message. You know, and when I say easier is because
you hide.
Yeah, it's like a shield where you don't have to see my body language. Mm-hmm. You don't have to see my emotion. I can write something and say, oh, no, that don't sound right. And then I could take 5 minutes and think about what I want to say versus just, you know, so it is easier to have those conversations through text messages, but it's not the healthiest way. Because those things, again, body language, tone, expression, emotion, you can't see all of that through a text message. So communicate those things in person for sure when fighting a battle.
And if all else fails, we're going to plug Shakura over here. They feel seek help. If you know you guys are at a point where y'all just constantly butting heads and it's just kind of like you don't know how it's going to get to where it needs to be, there are plenty of counselors out there that take couples, do couples counseling, that will be able to help y'all navigate through whatever it is that you need to navigate through.
Always, definitely. That is so important. You know, I get several couples who come to me just trying to figure out how the best way to communicate with each other. The things that I should let go, or the things that, you know, or how we argue and how we don't understand each other's love language, or why this person is acting or reacting this way. So definitely, if it comes to it and you have to do it, seek help. There's therapists out there that are trained, that know what to do, know how to advise, because we don't give suggestions, but how to advise on the best and most effective ways to communicate with your partner, with your friends, with your children, with your parents. So definitely, if it's a point where you can't do it yourself, you can't make the change, or you don't know how to make the change, seek help.
Amen and amen and amen again. That was a good topic.
That was.
Y'all can leave us some comments below, or, you know, let us know what you think as far as picking battles. If you good at picking your battles, if you're not. I mean, I'm not an expert, because I'm not. Because I have to sit down and I have to remind myself that our relationships are different. So, you know, this person is different from this person, so I may have to kind of maneuver, and then I'm different.
Yes.
So let us know in the comments below. We have a question today.
We do have a question.
If you have a question that you would love for us to answer, you can always email us at unapologeticallyuspod@yahoo.com. But this particular question was left under a video.
Okay.
So it was on our Do Anything for Clout episode. If you have not listened to the episode, go back and listen.
Check it out.
Very, very good. But this question is from a listener. I can say his name because he watches. Montreal Daniel. Montreal Daniel says, do you think that going to only HBCUs or all minority schools could hinder you down the line? Let me add that I, too, am a proud SU Jag alum. Just curious on your thoughts.
Thank you, Montreal, for your question.
Thanks, cuz. So what you think?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that being in a situation where an HBCU is all you know can hinder you, but it also can be helpful. And so to answer that question, I would just say yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean it has to be bad. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So meaning that I went to an HBCU, I went to an all-black high school, which I didn't, but in that example, went to an all-black high school, went to an HBCU. Am I able to get, or do I know the things that someone who did not, someone who went to a PWI, know? Am I exposed to those things that they were exposed to? No, I'm not. I'm not exposed to those things. But guess what? Once I find out the things that they're exposed to, I'm going to try my very best to expose myself to them, or surround myself with the people who are being exposed. Mm-hmm. And so when we think about the experience of an HBCU, and we think about the experience of a PWI, there's far more resources, mm-hmm. which we talked about that in the episode. There's far more networking, mm-hmm. and things like that. Now, granted, at an HBCU, they do some networking. They do some networking. They do. But it's a who you know type of networking, and y'all know how to go. But like I would love for that to be a better ordeal on, just because like if I'm a therapist and I meet somebody else who's interested in being a therapist, or interested in doing private practice, or interested in X, Y, and Z, then I have no problem with wanting to help in that scope. I have no problem with meeting someone who's just finished their bachelor's degree and wanting to go into a master's program, and networking, helping them, mentoring them. And then some people just be like, no, but you're going to help the person that you knew because you knew her auntie or her mama from around the corner. So, and I think that does that happen in PWI? Probably do, but I don't think it's as much. Like I could probably say that a student will be like, oh yeah, because my professor and we don't do that as much. Mm-hmm. We don't do that as much. So do I think that it could hinder us? Yes, if we allow it.
Glad you said that part, because taking to the networking thing. Networking in some cases, and especially what I learned at Southern, is like you said, because people network, but a lot of people sought after that. Mm-hmm. When you go into career fairs and making personal connections with these people that you are, these recruiters that you're meeting at these different booths, you are pursuing a networking connection. You are pursuing the knowledge that, people give. Do I think that it could hinder you? Yes, because, like you said, with the resources that are available at white institutions versus minority institutions or HBCUs or whatever. Being that I went to PWI at the time, a PWI high school, and I switched over to HBCU in college, there were things that I was kind of exposed to at a PWI high school. It's kind of like hearing people that went to all minority high schools and then going to HBCUs, and we're talking about our different experiences with me going to a PWI high school and they coming from a minority high school. Most minority high schools are public schools and they're in the hood. Yep. And we just being real. If you know one that's not in the hood, let me know. Whatever. Most of the ones that I know, most of the ones that I hear people talking about are in the hood. Mm-hmm. In the hood come different mentalities. Absolutely. Take it how you want it. Mm-hmm. And the exposure is less. Mm-hmm. Do I feel that some people from these minority neighborhoods, hood neighborhoods, have different type of mindsets? Yes. Some of those have a better grind about them, a better hustle about them. They are good at going to seek out information, and you have some that just take it for what it is. Mm-hmm. This is all I know. This is all I care to know. Yeah. So those who feel that need of, hey, I want more, that's where I feel like it won't hinder you, because you like what this is, I don't know, and I'm gonna go figure something else out. Yeah. I'm not saying the education at these schools are different, because it's not. We learn from the same textbooks. We learn from teachers, and what I can say with HBCUs, you have teachers who care. Absolutely. Not saying that teachers at PWIs don't, but in some cases they don't. But you can run into professors or teachers. Even now, people that I know who move back home and are teaching at Wiseman, teaching at Carroll, coaching at Wiseman, Richwood even, are back because they want to make an impact or difference in those kids that are there. Yeah. They are willing to expose them to things that they might not be exposed to. Absolutely. They're teaching them how to be professional. They're teaching them about credit. They're taking them outside of South Monroe to show them life is more than just South Monroe. Absolutely. It's a whole world out here that's for you. You can have if you want it. Most PWI schools are in suburbs. Suburban neighborhoods tend to cost more, and you have so because it costs more, you have to make more to live out there. Having money, whether we like it or not, exposes us to more things. Yeah. Most minority neighborhoods not all, keyword most, are single parent households.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have single parent households, I don't have time to sit down and tell you about credit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time to sit down and tell you about finances, how to manage your money, how to budget, how to do this, how to do that. I don't have time for that.
Mm-hmm.
Or you think about the gap of, I'm making this, your dad making this, we're working. We probably still don't have time to sit down and tell you certain things. You may not can go on the beta club trip.
Mm-hmm.
A whole nother thing. Some beta clubs have certain GPA requirements, some don't.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're a little higher. You still have a requirement.
Right.
Grading scales are different. So if I'm in a beta club, I'm able to go on a trip. I remember when I was in beta club, we went to Cocodrie, Louisiana. Ask me where it said, hit New Orleans, go down even more. And I said, what? Never heard of it, nothing. The longest, boringest drive ever. But I can sit here and tell you, I know there's a Cocodrie, Louisiana, and I learned, and I did crawfishing.
Mm.
But I was in a beta club.
Right.
You know, I went to a predominantly white elementary because my father moved us into what was then, which still is, considered suburban Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel like it could, like you said though, to end it, I do feel like it could if you let it.
Yes. Yes. Agreed.
So thanks, Montreal, for that question.
Thank you.
As always, you guys can have a question sent to us.
Yes.
Questions, topic, suggestions. You can send to our email at unapologeticallyuspod@yahoo.com. You can also comment under a post like Montreal did, or you can or on our Instagram post. Now we gonna wind it down. I got a last little bit of wine up in here.
I got a little bit to go.
Either I'm not pouring enough wine in these glasses, or we just drinking them fast.
She not pouring enough, cause
I don't think I am.
I was just trying to not
Sip,
drink
sip,
it all.
sip.
Jesus, God, I'm like, Lord, we're
So-
5 minutes in.
Tony suggested that we tell either the wine that we're drinking or the type. Remember we asked you what should we tell? So Tony, an avid listener of the podcast, suggested that we tell the wine that we have. Well, today we were short on time. So we have Stella Rosa Black Cherry. For you wine drinkers who be clowning people that drink Stella,
Who y'all do this?
mind your business. We had to just grab something quick.
Y'all do this? Send us some wine.
We did have a wine suggestion. We just didn't have time to go look for it. But we did get a wine suggestion,
But I
and
like
we will
Stella.
try it out. Well, because people who are avid wine drinkers say Stella ain't nothing but Kool-Aid. But we have Stella Rosa Black Cherry.
I don't even like Kool-Aid. Okay. Anyway.
But yeah, that's what. Ooh, we have to edit that out. But yeah, all mine's clear.
All mine's clear.
Thank you for watching today's episode. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, rate us on whatever podcast platform that you are listening to us on. And until the next episode, bye.
Bye.